Hey, I'm Chad Vincent. I'm the owner here at Renaissance Remodeling. I do some sales. I like to interact with the clients at first. I enjoy running the business as the business part of it. Generally, when we talk to a client, really for the first in-depth time, it's at their home. What we're after right at that point is what their goals are.
My name is Kevin Vincent. I'm the draftsman at Renaissance Remodeling. First thing we do is we usually bring the designer out with me. She might have already met the homeowner, or this could be the time that she's meeting the homeowner for the first time. So we have a little bit of a discussion with the homeowner, kind of talk through your job. At the same time that the designer's talking through your job, I'm also going to be kind of watching to see what I need to measure throughout that process. After that's done, usually the designer heads out and then I spend however many hours I need to do to measure your house. And then once that's done, I bring that back to the designers and they're going to have a fully built product for your house for an existing house.
My name is Carly and I'm one of the designers here at Renaissance. And my job is to lead the clients through the whole first half of the process. So getting the exact layout and design and function that they want, whether that be doing exactly something that they already have in mind or coming up with an original idea with them. And so I walk them through the whole process. I talk to all the subcontractors for them in that point of contact before we hand it off to the superintendent. So also part of my job is really to get the project as set up as possible so that when the superintendents get it, they can just take it and run with it, and I set them up as well as I can.
For the majority, most people in our position, remodeling contractors and builders, they dive into construction too soon and they start answering questions on what it might physically look like and what the design questions are during a very chaotic time. That's the worst time to make a decision. Let's make a decision during the design phase because it's emotional when you do the build stuff. You know, I've been through it, I think 3 times on my own, and I know what they're gonna go through and what they're feeling. And so we just try to eliminate all aspects as much as we can of trying to decide things during the construction. And to answer those questions, we have a litany of people in their fields during design, helping answer all those questions. The designer's leading it, but they know that there's 5 people behind them that are working with them to make sure what they're designing can be built.
And that's one of maybe the more integral parts of my job as a project superintendent, is to both ensure that the design vision of the client is being met per the plans, that any deviations from that are in line with what the client and the designer envisioned, and then in that process ensuring that the space is safe and comfortable. Specifically, what I have experienced is, first of all, reputation and integrity. Chad, the owner, grew up in the business, in the valley, working the business with his father. And that's, I think, fundamentally maybe the most important aspect of quality. Chad has understood that that reputation is important to maintain both for the client and then for us as employees. So working for Chad, quality means to put together a quality product for the client means putting together a quality work environment. And that quality work environment then attracts quality carpenters, people who are genuinely interested in the trade as a craft. So there's just a lot that goes into really managing the expectation with the client and a safe, clean work area, knowing that we're in their home and respecting that it is their home. We would want someone in our home to do the same.
At Renaissance Remodeling, what we're after is integrity from everybody. We're going to give it to you, we want it from you, and we want it from our subcontractors, our suppliers, and it's constantly a revolving deal, but it has to be there all the time. I think we can be a good example of what the future is for remodeling as a company, because we're giving clients a really good example of what a good company looks like, from the inside and the outside. To give a good example of that is, when I was young, gas stations were little, dirty. They might have had cigarettes and gas and oil. I don't think you would go to those places. They're not well kept. There's garbage on the ground. There's no services inside. People have changed the expectations for a gas station, right? And I would like to change the expectations for a remodeling company. We're not working out of our home anymore. We're not meeting at a coffee shop. because I don't have anywhere to meet you. We're investing in ourselves because we want you to invest with us. And if we don't do that, and we keep our overhead super low so that we don't provide you any services, I mean, why would you come back? It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, we're working on third generation people right now. We have people that when we started, 27 years ago, their kids are calling us now. They're in their fourth home from what we did, or they have another home in another, like McCall area, that they're asking us to work on. So hopefully we're doing something right.